vehicles. There was a heavy police presence as well. We're all at that market before this incident took place. But clearly a very worrying time for the people of Germany. Our correspondent, our Berlin correspondent, Siobhan Robbins, has been monitoring events for us. Siobhan, it sounds very distressing. What more can you tell us?
But certainly initial videos that are coming from the scene in Magdeburg, which is about 2.5 hours drive from Berlin, show what appears to be a car driving at speed into a crowd at a Christmas market. Now, we understand that the driver of the car has been arrested. The police have put out a statement on Twitter saying there's an extensive police operation that's going on, and they haven't officially said yet whether this is terror. That, of course, will be something that a lot of people will be asking. There has been a warning for Christmas markets across Europe to be on high alert for possible terror attacks. And of course, we know that it was in 2016 that there was a terror attack at a Christmas market in Berlin, which actually happened on the 19th of December. So the anniversary would have been yesterday. So, of course, a really worrying situation. And we don't know yet how many dead, how many injured, but it does look like a very serious scene has developed there.
Yeah, the Reuters news agency is quoting the broadcaster MDR, citing police saying at least one person has been killed in this incident, Siobhan, but clearly at the moment details very sketchy.
Yes, that's right. It seems to have unfolded quite recently. It's only been breaking here in the last 20 minutes or so, and police are obviously on the scene. That's why they've said they've put this extensive police operation into action. They'll now be gathering initial reports from the scene. Of course, the other priority will be tending to those who've been injured, and so getting emergency services in. They'll have cordoned off that Christmas market. They'll have probably cordoned off the streets around. They have arrested the driver. So in that sense, they're not having to stage a chase or a wide-scale police operation to look for the driver of the car. So that part of the operation, at least, is contained. But of course, they'll want to be speaking to that person to find out what happened, why they drove into the Christmas market, and if it is a terror attack. If they go down that route and they find out that it is a potential terror attack, then they'll be looking to check that if this is a lone wolf, someone acting alone, or whether this is part of an extensive network. But those are details we simply can't confirm at the moment because this is such a fresh operation. The emergency services at the moment will be focusing on two things. One, helping people who've been injured. Two, getting those who are injured on the scene, who aren't injured but on the scene, away and to safety, because they'll be, of course, in shock. And then their next focus will be trying to piece together exactly what's happened.
Let's just have a look at what the police have been saying at Siobhan. They've said the following. Initial report, extensive police operations are currently taking place at the Magdeburg Christmas market. The Christmas market in the city centre is closed. Further reports will be made. And of course, this comes, doesn't it, just a few weeks, Siobhan, since the German Interior Minister, Nancy Faeser, said that there were no concrete indications of a danger to Christmas markets this year, but that it was wise to be vigilant. And we know that there was a heavy police presence at this market in the state capital, that there were ambulances and police cars there as a cautionary measure. And clearly that was a good sense, because they are now being utilised. Reports of one person having been killed. But of course, as you say, far too early to say what the reasons were for this car ploughing into members of the public. But certainly it would seem that this was a very busy period for the Christmas market, early evening. There would have been a lot of people there. And it's not... It's clearly, this does have the potential to be very serious indeed.
Yes, and you've got to remember that this comes on a backdrop of a terror attack that happened in the summer in Solingen, where a failed asylum seeker stabbed people. That's actually in the west of Germany, but he stabbed people who were at a festival in the summer, and other knife attacks that have happened. Germany this year really has been on high alert because, of course, over the summer they were hosting the Euros, so there was an extensive police operation there, and they were on high alert for possible terror attacks then, and they've continued to keep vigilance in a sense, not the same number of officers on the streets as they had covering the Euros because the tournament finished, but they've had that high level of vigilance, and there is always a concern for any of the countries that host these Christmas markets that they could be a focus for a possible attack. And just to give you a bit of background about Christmas markets and the culture in Germany, of course, lots of people will be aware of the Berlin Christmas markets. Many tourists come here to travel and visit those, but they are also part of the domestic culture. They're extremely popular with people living in the towns and cities where they're hosted. So you'll see often locals in the Christmas markets having drinks, you know, spending their Friday night out, meeting friends. And this is the last weekend before Christmas. So I would expect that market to be extremely busy with people probably clocked off for work already ahead of next week. So it's a very concerning scene at a time when those markets will have been extremely busy.
And Siobhan, just for people joining us, just summarise what we know so far about this incident, which has broken only within the last hour or so.
So police have said that they've got an extensive police operation going on in Magdeburg, which is a city in Germany around 2.5 hours drive from Berlin. They said that a car has ploughed into a crowd at the Christmas market, and looking at unverified videos, it seems to go, if you think of Christmas market setups with the traditional huts, they've got a central row of huts, then there's a road in the middle where people would walk, and then there's another row of huts, and it seems to have gone in between those two rows of huts, so people would have been gathered in the middle there. And certainly if those videos are confirmed, it does appear to hit a number of people at speed. Now, at the moment, local media are reporting that one person has been confirmed dead. The police just saying this is an extensive operation. There's some media in Germany who are suggesting this is a terror attack. Again, that hasn't been said by the police yet, but a lot of people will be thinking back now to the Berlin Christmas market terror attack and be concerned that this could be some sort of copycat potentially, given that the anniversary of that was just yesterday.